Keep looking.
Yeah.
Really good
Oh,
swing.
you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you okay? I'm okay.
So
All right.
they're moving it along the Huntington side.
Okay. I knew there was still vacancy there.
Yeah.
Well, you were going on.
I can see
about
that,
like
but
that.
right. It's hard to keep.
Well, so the
There
reason
is,
they're not
Jay
putting
said
those
something
up,
like,
everything
"Go on."
we're working on now is gonna have a
So,
sort of place.
We
where
got
we're
two
fixing
different
it,
minutes.
Mhm.
And then when we get it done.
Oh,
the
okay.
guy can come and do that, and then. like,
Yeah.
the swings will-
Oh, the swings won't have that under?
No, they'll have mulch under it.
Okay.
We have as much money going.
Go on.
Around as we do.
Karen, you
And
gonna
so
be
it was
here
one of those,
today?
like,
Okay.
It'd be really nice here.
I just wish they.
I didn't know,
Got it.
no, I didn't know Dwayne wasn't gonna be here, but he sent you a voicemail or
Yeah.
a text. I didn't know the other two.
Well, he really didn't say that he wasn't gonna be here, but he texted up
Oh, well, he told me that he wasn't gonna be
calling
here.
Crawfordsville, CELT or something with us.
But
Somebody was thinking, why do they always schedule this on a rainy day? Why don't you petition God?
Yeah.
Here's your sign.
Yeah,
I don't want.
yeah, yeah, that's it.
Oh, all right. Call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
You thought this was just a fast forward meeting.
Oh, no, look who it is, what happened?
Approval of minutes from the special meeting and the last meeting.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes from the meeting and the last one. The executive meeting,
Special.
special meeting, sorry.
I'll second that.
Motion been made and second to approve the minutes of the last two meetings. Those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed, motion passes. Publication of claims. I'll make a motion, we pay the claims as presented. I went over them yesterday.
I will second that.
Motion been made and second to approve the claims docket as presented. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Publication of the payroll docket. I went through that yesterday. I make a motion, we approve it.
Second.
It's been made and second to approve the payroll docket. Those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Department reports, anything not already on the agenda? We don't have any departments here.
Might mention that cold patch.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The Reith Riley in Lafayette is no longer making the cold patch. So the guys are gonna have to haul it from Indianapolis, from Milestone, and they're gonna get a load this coming week.
Okay.
Right. Legal not present, law enforcement not present, engineer not present. Public concerns, Terry, or?
Sure, I want to talk about the park and maybe having an open house during the fish fry. It looks like it's going to be done by then. We may not have absolutely everything done by then, but I think that the fish fry is the time we have the most people at the park, and I think that makes sense to do it during then. So I just want to see if you guys think that's a good idea, and whether you want to do it, you want Lions Club to help you, you want the school, who's doing it, and what are we doing, and all the stuff.
Did we gather money from the Lions Club? Did they help with that at all?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we get maybe you girls who are so prominent with them and did a good job gathering all those funds. Maybe touch base, see if they want to be a part of it. I don't see a problem with it as long as it's safe to do so at that time.
And we think it will be.
Yeah, so I came to update on the playground, ask some questions about the playground. I have been talking, his name is Scott Reagan, the lead at the playground. And I think that in his head, he thought this was a school project. And so he started it and thought I have until August to get it ready.
Gotcha.
And his wife is having lots of medical issues that causes him to come and then have to leave and go. And he is driving an hour and a half daily to get here and get home. So there's some circumstances that are causing it to take longer than I thought, but we did have a good conversation in the beginning of June. And now he's sending me daily updates. I'm at the playground. I'll send you a picture of the progress I get done. So I think he's understanding that it's not going the way I thought it was going to. I did tell him that we have a 4th of July parade, and I would like for the kids to be able to see it, touch it, play on it, something to that effect. And he's very concerned that he won't have it done by then.
Yeah.
Currently, he's working specifically on the things that will have the poured in place under them, so that poured in place crew can come and put that surfacing under while he's still doing swings and the other things that will be in mulch. The large structure right now is done the way it should be. There's nothing added to it. Other than not having a surface under it, it is as safe as it's going to be. He was comfortable with kids getting on that, and I told him that has to come from the town. The Pegasus is what it's called, especially. It's the rope triangle on the side.
Mhm.
He would like to see us on it, using it, because it needs tightened down. And once they put the port in place, it won't be tightened anymore after that. So he was asking, is there any way I can get like high school boys on it to jump on it and play on it and stretch it out and get it pulled down the way he needs it to be tightened? My concern is if we say, go do that, then how do you say the next day you can't do it? But I also don't want to put something in the ground, have it in the port in place, and then in 2 years be like, wow, that needs tightened, and not have the ability to tighten it up. So I wanted to bring that to your attention.
Could you, as a principal here, reach out to the high school and maybe get some of the football guys and say, hey, can you give me
Yeah.
5 or 6 football
I
guys?
have the same concern though. I think if we start saying, hey, it's okay to go do this, or people see that,
Right.
they're just
Exactly.
gonna go over
Honestly,
there, and then it's gonna be a nightmare trying to keep people away from the rest of the progress.
yeah. In my mind, it would be equally effective to get 10 men on it and say like, the work crew
Right?
is stretching this out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And be done with
That's
it. and
better.
not-
I like
The fire department could come.
When you start having troubles with the
Oh, I agree.
contractor, did you reach out to Miracle and let them know that this has
Yeah.
been a
Yes.
serious issue for
So-
our timeline?
Michael Nearing at the high school is having our maintenance team check in with him as often as they can. I'm checking in with him as often as I can. Amy Reeves called Miracle. Miracle sent out, I'm gonna call him like the oldest man at Miracle. His name is Phil, and he's gotta be 82, 83. And he just loves building playgrounds. So he came out, and apologized profusely and offered some money for a ribbon cutting ceremony.
But they don't have another crew that they can put on
They
this?
don't have a
Like-
crew that they were willing to offer up. So, yeah. But that's what I know right now.
Okay.
Would you guys be okay with me finding some men to jump on it in the next week or two?
I think some grown men that people won't perceive as
Yeah.
children, teenagers over there would be a much better idea. Because I don't
Good
think we
idea.
should start with
I think
the,
we're
oh, well,
working
it's
on
safe enough, you can
Yeah.
play on this, and
Yeah.
nothing's
Well,
on the ground, the other equipment's not there.
And
like-
Scott was willing to say that the kids could play on the big playground, but like I went out and walked it yesterday. Even the terrain, because of
Yeah.
what they're doing for the
Yeah.
port in place. It's a steep hill down, a steep climb back up. It's gravel and
Yeah.
not very safe. The slides, there's
That's not an option.
24
Like, we just need
inches
to
off
get
of the
done.
ground instead
Right.
of 17. There's just some issues.
What about the fence? Did you guys?
I sent the quote from Scott to your email.
You did?
I did, last meeting before. Yep. Because I messaged him, he said he sent it, so I'm in my email, found it and sent it to you.
Oh. Okay.
That was also on my list, is if you needed help getting quotes for fencing. But we have that.
We had a couple of them.
Perfect. And then I sent a quote for gates to block the road, a second one.
Yes, they have that.
Perfect.
I didn't get those, Tricia, so,
Okay, well, I can go back in and find it again and resend it.
okay.
And back to the ribbon cutting, I think that's a great idea.
Person for 75. Because it's.
So do you guys wanna be involved? Do you wanna?
Absolutely.
I don't.
Yeah, I think, well, I
Come on,
just think
Amy.
like some town representation,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah, just
Part of
anybody
that.
that donated that wants to be there, you
I
know,
think-
whatever. The school,
Yeah.
whoever from the school wants to come out.
Amy and Becky definitely should be part of it.
All right.
Sounds good.
I do wanna talk about, the lunch program. Is that okay, Trish?
Yeah.
So I was eating at the 109 and Trish said, I need to talk to you. And I thought, oh no, what have I done? But it turns out it wasn't a bad thing. She had been talking to Fish, and I don't know, Trish, was it your idea or Fish's idea?
Well, I had been talking about it because the meeting that we were in, there were a bunch of people, a few people there. It wasn't a big meeting. That were concerned about lunch for their kids over the summer. So I was explaining, they were concerned because Sunbucks was not going to be a thing this year. I said, Sun Meals is. I tried to get in on that, tried to find somebody to do it that was a 501c3, could not find anybody. I wasn't legally allowed to do it since we're not a 501c3. I said, but I said, if anybody here knows of a place that does it, or you could reach out to different places in the county to see if any of them applied to do it. And I was just talking about the need for it and how somebody needs to maybe do something outside of that. So she came up to me and she was like, can I talk to you? And so after the meeting, we went downstairs and we were talking. I was explaining it to her and told her that they could apply because they're a charity and they could be reimbursed for each meal served so they could buy more food for the pantry. And she said, well, we're not worried or concerned about
Being
getting
reimbursed.
And I said, well, then we don't need the government. I said, we can do this. I said, we can make the meals at the restaurant. We have the kitchen, whatever, and we can serve it, outside the restaurant, at the library, wherever we can. And that's how it came about. Yeah.
So then the person she was talking to was Linda Airy, which
Yeah.
just happened to be my old neighbor from Linden. So I talked to Trish at the 109, got back to my table and had a text message from Linda Airy saying, hey, I hear you're the person we need to help coordinate this. Oh my gosh, what a crazy thing. So anyhow, now we're serving lunches on Mondays and Tuesdays at the library from noon to 1. The only requirement is that you need to be under 18. You don't have to show that you need lunch or anything like that. Just if you show up, we'll give you a lunch. Fish is providing the food. Trish is offering up her storage and kitchen for whatever we need. We've started making the lunches at Whitesville Christian Church. I have a crew of 7 ladies who are willing to help us make the lunches on Monday. We only need 3 or 4, so we're kind of taking turns. Farm Credit Services is going to deliver or serve the sandwiches on Mondays. Hoosier Heartland's going to do it on Tuesdays. I got a call from a sophomore at Southmont this week, and she wants to help, so she's going to help every Monday and Tuesday all summer long. And then we got a call from Land O'Lakes, and they want to provide snacks for the kids to take home. So they'll be here Tuesday for that. Then Farm Credit, we didn't have bags to put the food in the first day, and they realized we needed something, so they provided bags. Well, then Hoosier Heartland said, well, we have insulated lunch bags. Maybe we should use those. So now we're going to do insulated lunch bags. And it just feels like it's one of those things that everybody wants to be involved with, and it's wonderful. And everybody's talking about how Ladoga is so good at this kind of stuff. And they're actually, Fish is talking about counting us as a pilot program that other communities can use our role model as a way to maybe do this for them. So good job. We got a good town.
That's cheating, by the way.
Yeah, that's really great. Appreciate
That's
it.
awesome. Yeah.
Cooperation
It's
from
been
everyone.
kind of a snowball effect.
Yeah, it's been, every time I think, oh, what am I gonna do about that? Somebody calls and says, hey, I heard you might need a, yeah, I'll
So if
take that.
anybody's watching this and has anything else they want to put in there for the kids.
Right, well, and
Just wanna donate.
Diane Cross has told me that as soon as she gets something that she thinks is appropriate for the kids, she's gonna give that to us.
Okay.
So, I know when I sat down, I told Trish and Linda both, I can get volunteers. That's no problem. I can do that. I went home and laid it out. It was gonna be 81 man hours. And I thought, oh man, maybe I overspoke. But I didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, now I'm
An
having to tell
overabundance of
people,
volunteers now, so.
right, now I'm having to tell people, man, I'm glad you volunteered, but I don't really need your help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, really great to have more help than you need.
Right,
Very, doesn't happen too often.
no.
Anything else from the public? Jay, Scott?
What?
What?
All right.
That was just an empty threat.
He said your name.
I know,
Now you're on.
I know. Camera shy.
Aw.
Okay, moving on. Info service contract under old business, I think we need to continue that a little while longer. CELP wants to meet with us, to set up a meeting with them, so. New business?
I had a few things I wrote down. One thing was, sidewalks. There are some that need to be redone, paid attention this summer. One of them is over on Washington Street, the block from Fuzzy Bear down. That sidewalk is, I mean, part of it's up like 6 inches. And then it's kind of crumbled all the way down, and so I feel like that really needs attention, being right there in front of the daycare, tripping hazard and all. There is a tree right there where the sidewalk is up, so I'm pretty sure that tree needs to go so that doesn't happen again. It's not a massive tree, but yeah. So I'd like to get that on there.
$10,000 budgeted in the sidewalks this year,
Okay.
so.
You said
So-
10 grand?
If we could maybe, just,
Take care of that one, that's.
that one definitely
Yeah.
needs to
Take
be
care of that
taken
and
care
see what's
of.
left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a
And
well-used
we can
sidewalk
kind of,
there.
go around town and look and see what else needs attention.
Get hold of emitters and see what.
Yeah, get quote from them for that.
is somebody gonna do that or?
I don't have their contact information.
yeah, I
Somebody
don't either.
does. I don't know. Since they've been used before.
I'm
Do
sure the
do
guys,
either of you have?
Yeah,
it?
I'm sure the guys have their.
Exactly.
If not, I have it, I can share it.
Okay.
Okay. And speaking of Fuzzy Bear, I have a letter here, Mrs. Gibbs, new director of Fuzzy Bear Ministry. She's requesting that they're gonna have a Touch a Truck event, and they're asking to block Washington Street for 2 hours on Wednesday, July 9th. I don't think that would work very well at all. Washington Street's too busy to block it off, but Taylor
I mean,
Street,
yeah, I started saying Taylor Street.
yeah,
They could block
exactly,
that
no
down,
problem
you know?
there, but,
Yeah.
I agree. Taylor should, cause they're doing a touch a truck program,
Yes,
right?
uh-huh.
I see, yeah.
I don't think any of the
Good.
neighbors along there would have an issue either.
No,
not for 2 hours.
good program, but
Yeah, I agree.
main entrance, one of the main entrances.
Yeah.
Blocking the road during
Can
this
you get a hold
time.
of her, Mike?
Uh,
Yeah,
She's
email.
supposed to be here, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I have
she
her-
was
I
gonna
have
be
her-
here, but
I have her email.
You do?
Maybe on there, is it?
Well,
no, I don't see it there at all. Mrs. Gibbs, director.
I have it, she's gonna do a baby contest for us at the fish fry.
really?
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
Cool.
And then Jessica's on Maine is gonna do a little Mr. and Miss contest.
Oh,
Amy, you put me in a stroller, we'll win hands down.
Right, give you a passy,
I'll shave,
Oh,
I'll shave.
I told him I didn't think we needed to check birth certificates, but maybe we will. but-
You might need to check that. I don't know.
Yeah, if you can get the email, Mike.
So you're gonna
Sure.
contact
yeah, I'll contact her.
I'll send it to Amy.
Oh, all right, that'll be great. All right. Items from the clerk treasurer?
two things. This is the budget for 2026 for the fire protection. It did go up a little bit, which is only 2.25%.
Pretty easy.
just, I mean, like everything else, so
And
that's,
this is not having to do, just to clarify for people watching, this isn't nothing for the fire territory program.
no, this is the
yeah,
money
as
that
of
we
right
will
now,
be
yeah.
giving to the trustee.
Okay.
I gave you,
Oh, did you give me?
you should have, yeah. So that's, I just wanted to run that by you, so that you knew.
Which is about what we expected anyway.
Yes. And then also, Kristen sent these quotes. I gave you all one of these for the gates.
Yeah.
That's a lot more manageable price.
I was gonna say, let's see what this one is.
That's, so that would be 2 gates on Hickory and 2 gates on Taylor.
Instead of ropes and cones, we have.
Yes.
Would you still maintain your crosswalk guy or ladies or,
Yeah.
okay,
So, and those would be used for
right.
the fish fry,
Mhm.
they can
I'd
close
like
it for
to
ball
propose
games if
that
they
They
want.
would be closed during baseball games. As a mom of 3 littles, I sure
Mhm.
hate sitting watching a baseball game and saying you can go play at the park.
Mhm.
When I know you're cutting between 2 parked cars
Mhm.
into a road.
So at least the one, well, I don't know what the street is, not Taylor,
Hickory.
Hickory. So at least Hickory would be.
That's-
Yeah.
Just, I mean, that's, I think, is the
Yeah.
main concern anyway, just.
Just get to your
ball
parents
diamonds
in the playground.
park, yeah.
So this is the second quote, because you know we had the other one.
Yeah, that was, woo-hoo. Oh,
And,
no.
So, do we have a spec to how those are built, so we could have like a local weld shop quote those things? I mean, it's not rocket science to weld a gate together.
You want to see a picture of it?
Picture's not a spec or a,
No, I just wanted to see what it looks like.
yeah, I've seen that.
I think probably anybody doing it locally, their concern would be liability.
Well, if it's built to the specification that you give them, that takes care of that side of things. It's like, well, build it to your spec that you get.
Mhm.
Because I think it could be done for about
I'm
half of
sure.
that again.
Do you
sure
do
it can.
those kind of gates, Scott?
Hmm?
Do you do these kind of gates? Or can
Sure.
you? Huh?
Sure.
There you go, there's another
Scott, is
quote.
that a sarcastic sure or yes sure?
What did it sound like,
Do
Ronnie?
you wanna, I started saying, you want a copy of this, cause it kind of shows like some of the specs on it and what what
Yeah,
all they're gonna cover.
Mhm.
And then you can get a
Yeah.
quote too.
I'll look at it.
Cool. So we'll table that. Oh, and Terry, I looked here a little further. I do have her email address.
Okay, good.
Messenger, so.
She seems really good.
I think that's all right.
All right. April?
I just have that we're on track to turn the water bank in on Friday. We're good to go so far.
Town council.
Woohoo, no more brown laundry?
No.
Just real quick to clarify something, we had a number of ordinance violation complaints from an anonymous citizen. Due to the number of those that came in, there was a lot of them. So, we will go over those one by one and then address them and go over them with the city attorney and then get an answer back to the person that wants to remain anonymous. So, Not to leave them hanging out there, so that's where it's at.
All right. Anything else? Tricia?
I have nothing else.
All right.
I think I'm good.
All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second. Motion made and second. We're adjourned.
I think we closed in Hickory Street and this one, you do that yet, but usually it's at 5 o'clock.
Right.
Or you have to have somebody babysit each day